So $500 a day from trading gold seems unrealistic, but today I'm going to break down the numbers and show you guys absolutely everything. Now, for the year so far, I'm sitting at a total of around $334,000 from trading, which a day equals to just around about $2,200 a day from trading. That's from investing in stocks and day trading gold as well. And today I'm going to show you guys exactly how this can work for you. The setup, the sizing, and the real trades that hit it for me, whether you're trading personal accounts or you're looking to also trade fundeds. So before we get into it, quick heads up. All I ask is if you guys do enjoy videos like this, that you just drop a like, drop a subscribe. I'm live here on YouTube every single day, and I post videos just like this on a regular basis as well. So I'm going to be breaking down the whole entire maths behind this. What sort of sizing you would need to take, how many funded accounts that you may need, or what capital you would need to average this. Now, you're not going to make this every single day, but if you can average this a day from trading, you are going to do very, very well. And you guys have seen here, for me, it's around $2,200 a day for the year so far. So $500 a day on average isn't the ceiling. It's going to be the floor and foundations. So the whole idea comes down to a daily bias and liquidity. Price is always going to go and grab a previous high or low before it typically makes that real move. And the reason I love gold is because it does it very consistently, the exact same way multiple times a day. And for me, that's why I only trade that one market, because it's repeatable enough that hitting $500 isn't about predicting news. It's about trying to understand the levels that are going to get hit and then trading into them. So there are three ways that we can look at making $500 a day. And the first one is a micro lot for gold. And gold moves at about $1 a tick on a single micro contract. So hitting $500 a day with only one micro lot, that's roughly, you're going to need about a 500 tick move. Now, although that's possible, it's going to be very difficult to get that on average a day. That's probably one of the biggest swings in the markets that you may see a couple of times a week. Now, the second way, at a mini lot, that's around a 50 tick move. So now you're trading around $10 a tick. So the same $500 target that we're looking for, you only need around 50 ticks, which is very, very realistic on gold, especially with how big we've been moving. Gold's been moving at a couple of hundred ticks per day. So if your goal is to make 50 ticks a day, that's very realistic on average. To catch something like that, you don't need something exotic or fancy. All you really need is a strong daily bias with a key liquidity level, and you have a pretty easy trade. Now, this is the most interesting. This is what I want to break down for you guys. This is the third way. So the third way is about funded or scaled across a few accounts. The way that some of our mentorship members are doing the exact same thing. You guys can see here, member Kevin has been copy trading 5 accounts, and he has now just taken out over $18,000 in payouts in a single month. So the same 50 tick setup, the same trade, the same idea, just sized across more than one account. And it turns into a multiple of $500 without changing anything about the actual trade itself. The setup never changes. What changes is the size behind that trade. Now, here's where this really opens up if you're trading funded accounts. And personally, this is why I recommend for a lot of you guys to trade funded accounts, because everything that I've just shown you guys was based off one account, but you don't have to do it on one. And I don't really recommend just trading on one account if you do want to actually make consistent gains from prop firms. Now, with that being said, do I suggest you go out and just start trading 5 accounts? Of course not. Inside the mentorship, I have a whole entire masterclass on how to go from trading your first funded account to how to scale up the right way to over 10. So if you guys do want to check it out, there'll be a link in the description below. But for you guys here, if you're not yet making money on one fund account, don't jump into 5. This is to show you guys what is actually possible as you progress in your trading. So on one account, of course, you're going to have to average $500 a day, which I will add is very difficult. It's very unrealistic that you're going to make $500 a day on a single funded account. But this is where trading gets eye-opening and you start to see the possibilities of what you can actually do. 2 accounts, you look at an average of $250 a day, which is more realistic than 500. But are you going to make that on average every single day? It's going to be tough. Now, if we start adding 3 accounts, then cool. That only goes to $167 a day with 3 accounts. So all of a sudden it goes from, yeah, $500 on one account to unrealistic. All of a sudden, $160 a day on average becomes very realistic. And if we look at 4 accounts, it's around $125 a day on average. And then this is where it gets even more interesting, is on 5 accounts, that's only an average of $100 a day. And this is where a lot of the students have started to take incredible payouts from doing this. Whereas a lot of people get very caught up on, if you want to average $500 a day, well, on one account, you're going to have to trade way bigger size, meaning you're probably going to over leverage. You're also going to be chasing way too many trades multiple times a day, which brings in bad habits, which causes you to tilt, which also causes you to blow accounts. But if you look at it from the perspective of, if I work to a point of having 5 accounts, which again is very conservative, considering on majority of prop firms, you can have 5 accounts per prop firm. TopStep, you can have 5. Traderify, you can have 5. Lucid, you can have 5. So right there's 15. But I'm only giving you guys 5. You might have 2 on TopStep, 2 on Lucid, 1 on Traderify, or vice versa, whatever it may be. But if your whole entire goal is to average $500 a day on 5 accounts, all you need per account is to average $500 a day. Now, you're not going to make that every single day, but let's say if I was to ask you guys the question, do you think you are capable of making $500 on your account for the week? Majority of you guys would say yes. Fantastic. So let that be the goal. Don't focus on trying to make thousands every single week on one account. If I get any of my funded accounts to around 2,000 to 3,000 for the month, I'm very, very happy. Well, on 5 accounts, you're absolutely working towards that average day of $500 on average a day. But when you add more, you only need to make $500 for the whole entire week. Some weeks you might lose $250. Some weeks you might make $750. Some weeks you might make $1,000. Some weeks you might lose $500. But if you can do that on average, which I believe is very conservative, you guys are working your way towards $500 a day on average. And if you are doing that, you are absolutely taking great, good, consistent payouts from these markets. So you're not trying to force bigger trades or force more trades. All you're trying to do is get consistent and then scale. That's it. And the main reason why I see so many people going wrong in the prop firm space is because they're trying to full port one account and they keep getting frustrated. One of our members here as well, he has just got his 3rd funded account since joining the mentorship, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm not teaching you guys how to get funded and then just blow the account. I want to teach you guys how to get funded the right way and then how to actually scale so you can start taking good, consistent payouts. All right, so now I want to show you guys something on the charts to not only just show you the numbers, but teach you and show you how realistic this can actually be. Now, yesterday alone, I made a total of $3,200 on 3 of my funded accounts, taking this very simple Morningstar setup on NQ. Now, I don't trade NQ very often, but look at how repeatable this Morningstar play was. And each and every one of these, this one gave a total of 250 points. This one gave almost another 200 points. This one here gave 100 points. This one here gave about 150 points. And then this one here gave about 70 points. But I didn't take a fraction of that. I only took about half. I think I took about 50 points per account. But what I want to do is show you guys gold. I don't trade NQ very often, but I'm going to give you guys a live example of a gold trade that we took here on YouTube for absolutely free. So I'm not just going to show you guys the numbers. I'm showing you guys trades that we literally took here on YouTube to show you guys how realistic this is. So coming onto the charts on Wednesday, the 22nd of July, we took some absolutely beautiful gold longs. And from a tick perspective, we called about a 230 tick move up on gold. Now, a 230 tick move at 1 micro, which is the smallest size you can take, is $230. At 1 mini, that's $2,300 off a trade that I took here on YouTube for absolutely free. Now, the reasons behind this trade is very simple. Like I said, you guys, I trade with a daily bias and key liquidity targets. Well, here's my key liquidity target. Why? Because my daily bias is bullish, therefore I'm looking for longs, because Tuesday had a very strong closure. And you can see here, look how many times you have reacted off the major resistance here as well without grabbing the highest point. Now, if gold's ever going to have a reversal, it loves to come up and tag the highs and then sell off. But if we haven't tagged the highs and sold off, well, that's my trade for the day. So when I come onto these markets, I measure this range from where I'm jumping on up into here and I go, well, that's a 250 tick range. If I get 100 ticks of that, will I be happy and is it worth my time? Absolutely. If I take 100 ticks and I trade, let's say 5 micros, which is typically what I do in my personal, that's about $500. There we go. We've just made our $500 of the day for one account. But if we're trading 5 accounts, well, guess what? Let's just trade smaller size and capture the exact same move. So we got long here on gold. You guys can go back to my YouTube channel. If you go to the live section, you can go back to the stream from Wednesday, the 22nd of July, where we started to buy this hourly flip here on gold. Once you tag lows, you had a nice previous daily high, which was initial management and scale out point. And you can see here, we also came down and stopped out early buyers. You came down, you stopped out any early buyers, wait all the way back above. And then what do you do next? You come straight back to squeeze out any early sellers. And if we actually measure to where we are today, how much we actually ran up this week on gold. We called a lot of this move up, but from the lowest point of market open on Monday. Now, you're not going to capture all of this, but just to measure the moves and show you guys how realistic this is, gold is up about 1,600 ticks. So with the previous Miro board, to show you guys how realistic it could be to, let's say, make $100 on 5 accounts. Well, at 1 micro, that's 100 ticks. Well, this move up is 1,600 ticks. So if you captured a fraction of this move, you are absolutely working towards that average. This is how much gold is moving at the minute. So if your goal is to, let's say, take a couple of 100 ticks for the week, is that realistic in this market? Yes. Gold is moving very, very big. Majority of the times of the trades we're taking on stream, we're taking anywhere from 70 to, let's say, 150 ticks. Well, at 1 micro, that's around 70 to 150 US dollars. On 5 accounts, are we working towards that $500 day on average? Absolutely. So the key takeaway from this video for you guys is you can absolutely get to a point of making $500 a day on average. But the real key here isn't to necessarily do it on just one account. Now, I've managed to do this on my personal account. I've also managed to do this across multiple prop firms as well, but I scaled up the right way. I focused on consistency. I focused on trading. I focused on building a trading plan, and I focused on following it with good discipline and removing all of them bad days. As soon as you guys get them things down, you can absolutely start working your way towards scaling prop firms, to then scaling your personal, to then investing as well. And you guys can absolutely get to that very realistic average goal, but you're not going to get there from full porting one account. So scale up the right way, scale up slowly, and hopefully this video has inspired you guys that you can absolutely start working towards some very realistic goals in these markets. So if you want to see exactly how these setups get formed and taken and learned step by step, there'll be a link to the mentorship below where I teach my whole entire strategy, the risk management, the psychology, absolutely everything in the description below. Or I'll see you guys live here on stream every single day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. I get the keys better than anyone.